You're about to watch an excerpt from a longer presentation. So now go watch a short clip. We will then cut them from the longer presentation for make it maybe easy.
Thank you.
This is something that Diongote should bury his head in the sand, because it constituted low-level civil society people like Ellie Smith and the mayors and so on to go to Canada.
So this one na the lie way tilapia they talk am. Fish barrister saw it they talk am. These are just complete lies. I can tell you Ambazonians because I was there. I was one of those delegates that was mandated by the governing council and sent there on your behalf, so that I can come at moments like this and tell you people the truth. Ellie Smith have nothing to do with this with these pre-talks that happen in Canada. Nothing to do with it. He was not there. I never heard anybody call his name. I don't know where Fru John Nso, who is a spokesperson of Sako, is getting his information, but these are just blatant lies. Even have a write-up that they have named the people that were there, mayors, all sorts of names. They have put this list out there, claiming that these are the people that were sent by so-called Diongote sent people in Canada, Ellie Smith and all those people. Ellie Smith was not there. Ellie Smith was not involved. Ellie Smith is not Cameroon government. He does not represent. We all know that Ellie Smith is the AGC of Kadinatumi, working with the DDR Center, like the Catholic Church have been working with them. We have seen videos of him. So why would anybody who is from Ambazonia side will go into a room to negotiate with Ellie Smith and thinking that he's a negotiation with La Republic? Of course, that is not the case. He was not there. These guys are just lying. They have no credibility. They have no moral standing amongst the Ambazonian people. They are disgraced. They have brought us only confusion, scandal, and death for our people. But let us hear what he has to say.
The Prime Minister himself, I don't know whether if he signed a document given to those people, that would have committed the Cameroon government. Because as long as Paul Biya is still at the head, forget about the fact that he's senile.
So, this is Barrister Fru John Nso. He says that he doesn't know whether Diongote signed a document that authorizes the people who were there to be able to commit. If you don't know, why do you talk about things that you don't know? Why do you talk about things that you don't know? First of all, you claim that Diongote had sent Ellie Smith and some mayors there. And now you say that you just admitted that you don't know that he signed document. If you don't know whether he signed document, definitely you don't know who were there. So these are those people, as a spokesperson of Sako, these are those people who are liars, people who are driven by what I don't know. In the midst of death and killing of our people, nobody should be out there telling lies to our people. There's no need for lies. But like they say, thieves don't have shame. Con men who have embezzled money, disreputed. This is a disgrace for the lawyership. I'm ashamed to be a student of law when I have people like this who call themselves barrister coming to public and lie like that, blatantly. Let's listen.
Is dementia and all that, but he still signs decrees. If the Prime Minister was authorized to lead that delegation, it's only then that the Cameroon government will be committed. The Prime Minister stayed in Yaoundé, concocted a few mayors and Ellie Smith, and sent them with no documentation, with no authority, with nothing, to go to Canada and discuss with who? He says.
So they have to understand, they have to accept the reality. What they are saying are just lies. They are all made up stories. Diongote, to have engaged, if he was or not, I'm not going to get into that. But what our people have to know that this is a proper delegation from the Cameroon government that represented the state of Cameroon at the highest level. I mean, at the highest level, represented the state of Cameroon. That goes beyond the office of Diongote. The delegation itself went beyond that level. That should tell Ambazonian people that me, Capo Daniel, your own countryman, the most credible Ambazonian activist, speaking on behalf of the governing council, the most the biggest Ambazonian organization that have taken responsibility for our country and the prosecution of this war. I'm telling you that the Cameroon delegations, the officials, the offices went far beyond that. And that is why it reflects in the Canadian government statement that says that the Cameroon government approached them. It was the Cameroon government approached them. It was the Cameroon government that delegated people that were properly mandated and authorized to carry out state business. They were there on state business. Now you have Sako speaking on behalf of Ferdinand Gongo, a criminal. But what Ambazonia should know is that the Cameroon state have committed and mandated Canada. Even after the statement made by Rene Sadi, which is just a statement put on social media and on their media, carrying his letterhead, it does not override authorized commitment mandated by the Cameroon state authority of their sovereign power that are beyond that of Rene Sadi. Rene Sadi is a small potatoes compared to the weight that Paul Biya's bring. Just like they are saying there that if Paul Biya mandate and authorize something, it is binding. The Canadian government will not be saying that it is binding without that document being binding. The only way Cameroon can undo what they have done will be through formal protocol, diplomatic protocol, to inform the Canadians through message from the authority that mandated the Cameroon delegate or the authority that governs Cameroon to inform them that they have withdrawn. That have not happened. Cameroon have committed to negotiate in Canada and have given Canada the mandate. Ambazonia have done the same. The Canadian government have informed the public and the international community that both sides still remain engaged, despite the message put out by Rene Sadi. The American ambassador have held a meeting to congratulate the Canadians for standing firm on this mandate that have been given to them by the Cameroon government, despite this infighting that is going on in Cameroon. That message by Rene Sadi is only an indication of infighting and a divided government. But the authority, the final authority of that country, relies not with Ferdinand Gongo, Atanganji Po, and Rook people like Rene Sadi. It relies with Paul Biya, who is their president. And that authority have engaged and given Canada the mandate. It can change tomorrow, but the communication from Rene Sadi does not reflect any credible Cameroon government position, because the Cameroon government position has given a mandate that has been signed. They have committed themselves internationally in front of the United Nations. Rene Sadi, what he did was a lie. It is not credible. It is not binding. Obviously, it is fake document. It does not carry power. Those are illegal communication that does not meet up with international protocol. For a country to withdraw from a negotiation process that it has committed, it does so through official means, not through newspaper announcement, not through declaration made on radio stations. They do so through their diplomatic communication. Canada have a diplomatic communication channel with Cameroon. They have diplomatic relationship in Yaoundé. If the Canadian government is saying that Cameroon remains committed, it's because Cameroon remains committed.
Sako had a more than 3 hours telephone call with the Canadian ambassador in Yaoundé. He asked him one question: will the Cameroon government be present in these talks in Canada? The answer was no. If the Cameroon government is not going to be there, why are you calling me and asking me to join?
So this is the spokesperson of Sako saying that the Canadian government contacted Sako through the ambassador in Yaoundé to talk to Sako for over 3 hours, according to what they are saying. And in that communication, Sako asked him if the Cameroon government is going to be there, and he said no. That is why Sako did not go there. Is what they are saying true? Obviously, it's not true, because putting the word of Sako against the one of Canadian ambassador, who are you going to believe? Do you think the Canadian ambassador will come and meet Sako and blatantly lie to him over telephone call that the Cameroon government is not going to be there, when the Canadian foreign minister is clearly saying that Cameroon government is there? No, that is not true. Did the Canadian engage with Sako? Yes, they engage with all stakeholders. Engagement does not mean invitation. They engage with all stakeholders to inquire, to talk to them, do research work and all those stuff. But was Sako invited? Definitely no. Definitely no. That is why he was not there. Because only at pre-talks, only consequential movements that are properly constituted are invited. These are the leading movements that are invited to lead the negotiation. Remember, it is Ambazonia and Cameroon, represented by the Cameroon government and the authorities and the consequential movement of Ambazonia. Sako's movement is considered on paper, is just on paper. Sako is just on paper. It's not a properly constituted body by Ambazonians. It is just him declaring himself a president, and the Canadians know better. You can fool a bunch of Ambazonians on your WhatsApp group, on your TV channel, by playing your con man, which you are, calling yourself president. It does not translate internationally. Sako Ekome is not considered consequential enough. That is why he was not invited. If Sako was invited, the truth, he could have been told the truth. The fact that he is making up stories about being called for 3 hours by the ambassador of Canada to La République du Cameroon can tell you the type of engagement they had with him. But definitely, they will not call him to lie. Ambazonia have been recognized internationally by the organization that were represented there. Those organizations going there to represent our country is an indication of their international recognition. Those who are not there does not mean that they are not stakeholders. We have a conference that is coming up in April where we expect to bring in everybody.
They push Eli Smith and his renegade mayors and whoever. Eli Smith is not a member of government. He doesn't even work for government. And the others are when they call themselves mayor who were not elected. Anyway, that's a different story. But mayors don't represent the government.
So it is true, mayor don't represent the government. It is true, Eli Smith does not work for Cameroon government. We all know he worked for the AGC. But they also work with the Cameroon, with the DDR Center, which is a propaganda, a military attaché to the Cameroon military. But anyway, he was not there. The mayor was not there. So how can somebody who do not even know the people who were there, you don't even have intelligence or people you can talk to somebody who knows somebody. If you are so cut off from reality and from consequential people, then you have no voice to say. You have nothing to say. So if you don't even know the people who were there and you are lying about people who were there, how can you be a source of information about what is happening? So fellow Ambazonians, these are just people who are on social media making noise. These are all corrupt individuals who have no shame, no dignity at all, no credibility at all. And they should be kept where they are, which is at the backyard. So now, Sako who have been engaged in a process, in an initiative, we call it initiative because it wasn't a process.
The problem, the process is alive because La République has committed to be on the table.
So this is Sako talking about a commitment of La République du Cameroon on the negotiation table during the Swiss initiative. At that moment, Cameroon had not even sent anybody to meet them on a negotiation table or pre-talks, let alone having a face-to-face engagement with them in a pre-talks negotiation, even with the Swiss HD. Never. So if Sako would consider the Swiss initiative as a Cameroon committed, why would he now be saying that this one that the Cameroon government have actually come there and engaged in a process with the presence of the United Nations and signed document committing themselves to negotiation that it is not negotiation? So these are just liars.